What's going on, everybody? John Stamper. I'm here live in San Antonio at Dr. Scott Luna's Breakaway Seminars, and going to keep things going. Wanted to make sure that we spend time having some conversations with some of the great companies that are here at Breakaway Seminars. One of the things, as I mentioned, that Dr. Luna likes to do, he's very interested in a lot of the companies out there that are adding things and doing things for the practices that can help, take their practices to the next level. And so we're going to continue having these conversations. I'm very excited to be with Sally Bevans, who is the VP of Business Development for Sinclair. Sally, how you doing?
I'm great. Thank you. How are you?
I'm doing wonderful. And we were just talking. I was asking you, I'm like, okay, how is it in there? Dr. Luna weaves in, as part of his presentation, a lot of the companies that are here and what they do.
Yep.
So I'd love for you to let everybody that's watching know what Sinclair is up to.
Sure. And Dr. Luna, to that, he does such an amazing job, and he's so raw and so good at what he's captivating. I'm really enjoying this experience. So Sinclair, we are the #1 provider of aesthetic technology to the dental sector. We're also an educator within the space as well. We find that a lot of dentists want to learn more about this before they take the next step. I think Dr. Luna really kind of spoke to us in a manner that made sense. This is something that changes the way the practice feels, right? Mm-hmm. So these are delegatable, cash-based revenue tasks that make the patients look better, feel better. The staff really love doing these treatments as well. But we have a large portfolio, probably the largest and most versatile portfolio of aesthetic-based technology. Mm-hmm. Globally, we also have injectables and threads. That'll be something that we'll have in our portfolio here in the U.S. within the next 3 to 5 years. So we'll be a very comprehensive aesthetic provider within the space.
So one of the things I love when anybody asks about Sinclair, or I share with them what you do, is it's that response that says, you can do that in a dental practice?
Yeah.
So do you hear that a little bit?
Yeah, and you still hear dentists or patients say, my dentist can do Botox, right? And so that's kind of the gateway, Botox and dermal fillers. But Botox really entered the space through therapeutic capabilities with TMD, tension headaches, and migraines. And that was something that we actually rolled out into our portfolio. We had the indication by the FDA with our radiofrequency modalities to treat, the indications for the relief of muscle spasms and pain. Mm-hmm. So we took it a step further because we were doing so much business in dentistry that we wanted to give something that was well within the wheelhouse of dentistry. Right. So we embarked on a study for about 2.5 years and have a finite protocol that really fits a hole for the treatment of TMD that doesn't exist otherwise in the space. So that's just one additional treatment capability that they have on these platforms and devices that they can offer as well.
Yeah, we talk about this a lot in dentistry. Patient gets comfortable with their dentist, and even along the lines of sometimes endodontics or some of those procedures that, granted, if they have to go to a specialist, it makes complete sense. But there is this connection with their individual dentist. So I love the fact, like you mentioned, that they can get these things done in the practice, and I'm sure it's very exciting, for the practices themselves.
Yeah. I think there's the connection aspect of it too, but people are also creatures of convenience, right? So for dentists to have this in their practice, if somebody's already there, they're 50% more likely to get these treatments done out of convenience than if they had to go to a specialist or go to the med spa. Men especially. We see much more business done for facial aesthetics with men in dental practices than we see in a med spa. Yeah. And I think, too, because it's something that can be done chairside, a lot of these treatments are done in 15 minutes or less, make a huge difference. Patient walks out, they have beautiful teeth, and then now they have glowing skin. It's just something that can be added to help bolster revenue and patient morale. Yeah.
So let's say 30 days, 60 days, some case studies here of some of your customers. What are some of the things that you hear, for those that, decide to start working with you, they decide to start implementing it into their practices, offering it to their patients? What's one of the most common things that you hear?
I would say prior to, we've worked really hard to become a really well-rounded total solution, right? A turnkey solution in implementing these. I just had 2 doctors inside that came up and said, one that said, I've been trying to get my husband to do this. I know that we have the clientele for it, but we just don't know how. Right. So what we've done as a company is we've, both internally, but also with outsourced vendors, we've created a turnkey solution where this is something that is, we implement, we train and certify, and then we work with these vendors to offer comprehensive digital marketing and launch assistance, where for 8 weeks we do business consulting, consulting, the launch. They actually attend the launch. They help them sell packages there, and their return at those events tend to run anywhere between $22,000 and $55,000.
Okay.
So a big chunk of change right off the bat that gets the ball rolling. I will say that prior to start working with these other vendors and really fine-tuning this turnkey solution, practices are generating somewhere between $11,000 and $14,000 a month, and these are treatments that are primarily done by your assistant. So when the dentist sees that the assistants are generating that much cash-based revenue for the practice, it's nice.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, and I, again, the whole aspect of, I'm so excited that you all are here, because I think that as Dr. Luna talks about these practices growing, it's just a nice fit, and obviously, like you mentioned, we already have people coming up and saying we want to do this. We see it's exciting.
And I think these seminars definitely target a unique, very forward-thinking, progressive doctor.
Yes.
So it's a perfect fit.
Yeah, and I would say, like you mentioned, the education piece is big, because I think we see this across dentistry. They get excited about a technology, and then they get it in the practice, and then it's like, okay, like how do we implement it, or like what do we need to know? This is certainly one of those things.
Yeah. So we took all of the legwork out. Do that for them.
I love that. All right. So talk a little bit like how they get started, like how all that works. Let everybody know that process.
Yeah. So the biggest part of it is education, and that's one of the things that we realized when we embarked in the dental space, because there is that element of, you can do this. You know what I'm saying, or can I do this? And it's education of the doctor, education of the staff. Once the staff gets into this, really, and what we're finding is staff tends to be kind of across the board now. A lot of younger women who are exposed, and men who are exposed through social media to all of these types of treatments. So they know about it. They get excited about it. And when they get behind it, they push it, right? And that's kind of the process. It's staff education, patient education, and then you have to commit to doing it. It's not something that it's going to, the device just doesn't, make money on its own, right? So there has to be that element of marketing and getting behind it, and streamlining it into your business model, right? Becoming a true dental spa or dental medical spa or a facial aesthetics practice, right? And again, that's something that through our company and our support system that we help with.
Yep, I love that. Where can people learn more? Website, all that good stuff.
Yep. So we were recently acquired. We talked about this, and we're going through the branding switch, which has been. It's been a lot. So we still have our dental geared website at Viora Dental. We were previously Viora, so VIORA dental.com. And they can see a comprehensive breakdown of both the therapeutic and the aesthetic capabilities, the different devices that we offer. I think one exciting thing, if we offer 2 CE events remaining this year. We have a huge one called Dental Beauty Boss. We've been doing beauty bosses for years now, globally and here in the United States, but this is the first dental beauty boss. So it's actually like a meeting of the minds. We have a lot of different practices that have been very, very successful in implementing this within their practice, but also we'll have some bits and pieces of Lane Martin from the Gelb Institute. He'll be there talking about sleep apnea. We'll be talking about cutting edge treatments in TMD. We'll have Dr. Rick Myron talking about biofillers, BioPRF. So and then there'll be a big business aspect of it, marketing, patient retention, all of that kind of stuff. So that's June 24th and 25th in Southlake, Texas. It's 19 CEs, so it is accredited. And then we do always offer a smile enhancement through technology-based facial aesthetics course. Both of those can be found on the Viora Academy or SinclairAcademy.com websites.
Got it. Okay. Yeah, I think that's what's exciting about just hearing you talk about that. This is more, like you mentioned, than just making the decision to do this. You all have built a community of both education. I think the marketing is a big piece, like you mentioned, because the people in your community need to know that you do this service. I love the fact that the teams are buying in. That's a big thing. That's always hard sometimes for practice owners. Doctor gets excited about a technology or a service, and it can be hard to move the team forward. So the fact that you guys are doing that is awesome. And well, first off, thanks for being here. I know Dr. Luna appreciates it. I know everybody that's here in attendance is excited for you to be here, and be sure to learn more about what Sally and her team at Sinclair and Viora.
Previously Viora are doing
to help your practice take it to the next level. Thanks so much.